Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're taking a look at the Sweet Generals. I'm going to be taking them into the 10-star Garp's Challenge events today. So, I have two teams for you guys in this particular video. I'm not the biggest fan of doing like the one team beats both, mainly because I like to try and make more optimal teams to beat the content. So, Sweet Generals is going to be our captain. As you guys saw, I did pull them in the latest Sugo Fest. They are a very, very good attack booster, as well as color affinity for their team, as well as doing a chain buff as well. In my opinion, they do a little bit too much, but I mean, when you can proc their special and have no repercussions, it works very, very well. 4.25 to strength, boosts all other characters by 3.75, and then boosts HP by 1.3, which is excellent. They're going to become a 5 times booster as long as you killed something or defeated something in the previous turn, and they reduce to spare by 2 turns. For the first run today, we are going to be taking on WhiteBeard, and this is the team here that I have put together to take down WhiteBeard, or the WhiteBeard Pirates. So, we do have Colosseum Enel. He's great for the Marco and Joseph Vista stage. We have the new Perispero. He's here to proc the super typing, but he could be replaced with someone else, like Usohachi would work great, and then sort of replace maybe Moria with Oven to give yourself that super type ability. Then we've got the Kazuna Moria, a very, very good unit, very underrated unit as well. So, shout out to Pierre. He knows who he is. And then finally we have V16 plus Akainu. Now the big downside that I found to using Sweet Generals is getting matching orbs. It can be a little bit tricky, but using characters that can obviously rotate your orbs into matching is going to help you out quite a bit. Now notable supports on this team, we do have Dofi, V1, Dofi 6 plus, as all of our subs are driven, and when you rotate your orb on Enel, you can actually get that to proc. And there is a little trick I do want to show you guys too. Next I've got Brule as well. Brule's just here to make things a little bit smoother on the final stage as we get 2 turns of cooldowns on our Sweet Generals. And finally, we're using the Nostra Costello. Onto the Eneru challenge, we are using pretty much the same team, except we do have Buggy and Marco and Ace. Now, Marco and Ace are here as our attack booster. They're there to remove the stun on the final stage. Their switch ability giving Strength Orbs over Quick Orbs is very, very good as well. Plus, we do have the support of V1 Akainu on them, just to make sure we do get a full board of matching orbs on the final stage. Next, we have Buggy. Buggy needs to be Limit Break keyed, so that way you can get Fear removal. At least level 3 is required. Otherwise, you can't get around the Fear debuff, as well as the Special Blind. The rest of the supports are just attack boosters. So, let's hop into the WhiteBeard run first of all. And then we're going to hop over to the Enel challenge. So, with the WhiteBeard challenge, you do want to try and find a captain, if you are using this team, that is rainbowed, or more importantly, has level 5 slot binds, as the Sweet Generals can remove slot bind by 5 turns, and once you get to the final stage against WhiteBeard, we do want to make sure that we can remove the slot bind on our captains. Moria also has slot bind removal, that's why he's down in the bottom slot, and so does Perispero. Unfortunately, my Perispero, though, doesn't have slot bind removal max, so it doesn't really matter with that. On the first stage, we are going to take out the Strength Marine. Now, I do recommend keeping that Strength Orb on our boy Enel, because if we don't rotate that Strength Orb, even though it does spin, we're technically not rotating it into a different orb. Now, the reason that's important is it doesn't actually proc the support of V1 Dofi, so that way we can save it for the later stages. Now, if you have a look, when we get to this stage against Mr. Watermelon Headman, he gives us 3 turns of attack down, so using Enel's special here is very, very good. Normally, the support would proc, but it doesn't because we didn't actually rotate that orb. Next, we can use the Moria special. Moria is going to give us a full board of orbs and an orb boost, and then we're going to be able to carry that into the next stage. As you can see, we do have that orb lock mechanic, so like just hitting with all of our characters is very, very good. That way we can move into the next stage against Higuma, the Chainman, and Mr. Ox looking guy. So, because we get the orb boost carryover effect, as well as keeping the full board of orbs, we can actually fly through this particular stage very, very simply and very, very easily, taking them all out in one turn. Boom. Boom. You guys can stall there if you want to, just to get rid of that special bind, but it really isn't essential, as we are basically just going to be normal attacking our way through the next couple stages anyway. So on the next stage, we come up against Speed Gil, we come up against Iso and Fossa. We are just going to want to try and do as much damage as we can to Speed Gilly in the back here. Unfortunately, because we are running a full strength team, we actually don't have enough damage to kill him. Now, I did get a little bit lucky there. I do have a meat orb. I'm just going to gobble that up. We don't have the highest recovery on this team, but eating any meat orbs along the way is going to help us out. you can activate the super typing here if you want to as well. That way you do a little bit more damage to speed. Is it Gil or Gilly? One of the two. But unfortunately, even with that super typing, you're not going to be able to take him out anyway. So I thought it wouldn't really matter. On the next turn, we can use our special of our Sweet 3. And then we're going to use the super typing after that. That way we can get the massive attack buff, we can get the color affinity and the chain boost. Fortunately for me though, I got absolutely shafted on my orbs. But then we can use the super typing after that. Oh, okay, wow, that's too much damage. I didn't really want to kill Iso there, but I mean, we did, right? On the next stage, we come up against Jozu. Jozu's going to put up 4 turns of damage reduction and 4 turns of defense up. So what we're going to do here is we can use the special of our Perispero to give us an orb boost, and then we can use the special of our Kainu to give us a full board of orbs, as well as give us a monster attack boost to our strength unit. Then we can use the super typing of our Sweet 3. They're just going to give us 2 turns of cooldowns to our strength units, and with that we can take out Jozu nice and easily. Once Jozu dies, he is going to give us normal attacks only. Fortunately, we took a lot of damage in the earlier stages, so we may or may not have the damage to move on here. Enel. Enel doesn't have his special ready. That's why I wanted to stall that 1 extra turn on Isu. Well, that's GG. That is GG. Fuck. Alright, well, that was mad. So once we move into the second stage against Mr. Watermelon Headman, we're still going to have that orb on our Enel. Now, when we move into this stage, as you can see, we get 3 turns of attack down. And when we use the Enel special, we can remove that. Now, normally, the Dofi support will proc. But as you can see, because Enel kept the same orb, it didn't actually proc the Dofi support, which is very, very handy. So on this particular stage against Mr. Watermelon Headman, we are going to use the special of our Sweet Generals, and that way we can just blast our way through the Watermelon Headman's HP. So on the next stage, we come up against Haguma, the Oxman, and Mr. Chainball guy. If you don't kill the Ox guy on the first turn, he is going to bind your healing for 8 turns. So it is fairly important that we take him out, and Higuma is going to do double attack. Now, he doesn't do too much damage, but it's just very annoying sitting there through the double attacks, to be honest. After the second turn with Mr. Chainman, he's going to blow away 2 of our random crewmates. So we do want to try and take them out before we move on to the next stage. Before he can do that, so we can move on to the next stage. On the next stage, we come up against Iso, Speed Gilly, and Fossa. Fossa can be on a 4-turn cooldown, which is very, very handy. But the downside to this particular stage is when we come up against Speed Gill in the back there. So Speed Gill in the back there, he's fairly annoying to get around as he is a quick unit. So we are going to focus most of our attacks onto Iso, and then with our characters that have matching orbs, we are going to switch over to Speed Gill. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to kill Speed Gill no matter what there, so it is very, very annoying. But once the special bind goes away, we can use the special of our Sweet Generals. Then we can use the super typing of one of our Sweet Generals, so we can just do a lot of damage there. And then on the second turn, we can not only kill Speed Gill, we can eat these meat orbs too, actually. Yum yum. We can actually kill Iso in the front there, and we can do a lot of damage to Fossa as well. On the third stage against Fossa, we're just going to take him out with normal attacks. We're going to eat any meat orbs that we find along the way, and we're going to get rid of any of these orbs that aren't favourable. Moving into stage 5 now, we come up against our boy Jozu. Jozu's going to put up the defense up and damage reduction. This is where we can use our Perispero special to remove both of those damage reduction effects. And then we can use our Akainu special to give ourselves a full pot of orbs and a massive is it 2.5 times attack, or is it 2.25? Might just be 2 times, but either way, it's a big attack boost to our strength units. And then we can finish it off with our other super typing of the Sweet Generals. After this stage against Jozu, we're actually not going to be able to... what am I trying to say? We're not actually going to be able to get like any damage from normal attacks unless they're normal attacks only, as he gives us 3 turns of normal attacks only. And then when we move it to the next stage against Marco and Vista, they're going to give us 3 turns of paralysis, 3 turns of chain lock, and 3 turns of attack down. So this is where we really need to make sure that we get the special of Enel back, so we can use our Enel special to remove all of those defects. Unfortunately, I still had the strength orb on Enel there, so unfortunately for us, we're not going to get that orb buff, but it's not really that big of a deal, as we do have our Moria. Moria can give us that orb boost and give us a full border orbs as well. So ideally here we want to try and take out Marco on this particular stage, and then we can focus our other attacks onto Jozu. If you kill Jozu, they're awesome, and if you don't worry about it. Taking that extra damage is actually going to give you a higher captain ability. Ship ability. So that way, when you move into this stage against Marco and WhiteBeard, you can get a little bit more damage. Now, unfortunately, I had a recovery orb on my Sweet Generals, so I'm going to lose a little bit of damage. But this is where the Brûlée support comes into effect, giving us a matching orb there. So we can actually just use their special. Oh, what? We didn't get that orb buff. That sucks. Okay. Why didn't we get the orb buff? Oh, because it wipes away buffs when you go into this stage. That's annoying. We actually don't have the orb buff. I was about to say we get the carryover of the orbs from our boy Moria, but we don't, apparently. Just by looking at this, though, I think we'll have enough damage to take out WhiteBeard. We should. I don't see us having too many issues here taking out WhiteBeard. He does have a lot of HP, unfortunately, but Akainu just hitting those crits. Akainu's just like, I'm sorry, WhiteBeard. I killed you once, I'll kill you again. So, yes, I did mean Vista. Sorry. Thank you to the chat. We are over here on stream, so I do appreciate that, chat. I did mean Vista if I did say something different. So, now that we've beaten WhiteBeard, let's hop over to Enel now. And let's get Enel done. We do need to find ourselves a decent... Oh, a Krissa. Level 2 special there, Krissa. What's going on? Alright, here we go. Now, this is the team for the Eneru challenge, as you guys saw in the beginning. It is very similar. Instead of V1 Akainu, though, we are using Marco and Ace. Marco and Ace's switch ability is just absolutely amazing for mono red teams, as getting those extra matching orbs is very essential. Plus, we do need them to do damage to us so we can remove the stun effect on the final stage, as well as bringing a limit break key buggy to remove the special bind and fear that is on the final stage as well. So on stage 1, we're just going to kill the marine lackeys so we can move on to stage 2. Nice and easy there. We're going to get all our cooldowns. Beautiful. And then on stage 2, we're going to come up against 3 of the Skypiea units. Now on this particular stage here, we don't have to worry about it too much, but they do bind our bottom characters for 4 turns, which goes down to 1 with sockets. But what we're going to do here is we're going to use our Sweet General Special. Now, the reason we're going to use the Sweet General Special is so we can actually blast our way through 1.5 of these Skypiea units. Unfortunately, when Buggy comes back, because he was binded, his ability to remove the special bind doesn't proc. So we are going to have to deal with that special bind here. So on the second turn against the Skypiea enemies, they are going to put up 5 turns of defense up. It's not a huge defense up, but as you can see there, we were dishing out a lot less damage. By the third turn, we can take out the Skypiea enemies here. If you take your time on these guys, don't worry. They do a lot of damage, but at least you can stall out the special bind, and that's the main upside to taking shots there. On this second turn, we come up against Tweedledee and Tweedledum. They give us 2 turns of burn, which is very, very annoying. But what we can do here is we can use the special of our other Sweet Generals. That way we can just guarantee ourselves a lot of extra damage to taking them out. Nice and quickly, nice and easily. And if you need to hit a perfect, if it's required, as the 5,000 burn is a lot less than the damage that they would deal if they attacked you. On the next stage, we come up against Viper and 2 of his Skypiea friends. Unfortunately, we're not really going to have too much damage to take out all of them here. So what we can do is we can use the super typing of one of our Sweet Generals. That way we can do quite a bit of damage, and we are going to do a lot of damage to the strength unit. Now, I did get very lucky with orbs, thanks to the switch ability of Marco and Ace. So I am going to try and kill that guy in the back there, and unfortunately we just shy of the damage to kill the other one. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. We've actually taken a little bit too much damage here. So what we want to do... Oh, man. I'm going to have to use a Moria special, I think, but I really don't want to use a Moria special. Because I don't think we can kill Wiper. I think we're going to have to, unfortunately. Fortunately, we're going to have to use that. Unfortunate. But it is what it is. For this particular run, The thing about this particular piece of content against Garp's Challenge Enel is things change depending on what 3 units actually get binded at the beginning, which can sort of affect the run a little bit. On the next stage, we come up against 2 more Skypiea enemies. They are going to... the one on the ball gives 4 turns of Threshold, and then they roll our specials back by 2 turns, I'm pretty sure. So this is where the Perispero special is actually really good, because he can actually give us an orb boost if we didn't have Moria, plus he's going to remove that Threshold. And with that, we might actually eat this meat orb. We should be able to take this guy out on the ball. Easy peasy. Once we take out him, we can focus on the other dude with the bird. Hopefully we can take him out. We can take one more shot from him. And we did get a meat orb here, so we are just going to eat that. I don't think that meat orb's overly essential though. But any healing is good healing, so we are going to take that wherever we can. If you need to be using your switch ability of Marco and Ace, make sure you're using that every single turn. They also have pinch healing, so that's something to note as well for a little bit of extra healing if you need it. As you can see, I definitely do. So on the next turn, we come up against Gidatsu and Om. Now, we should have enough damage to take out Om, as we can use the switch ability of our Marco and Ace. He does bind our healing too, so that is definitely something to note. We are going to use the super typing of our other sweet generals. That way we can just do a little bit of extra damage and make sure that we can take out Om easy peasy. And then we can focus on Gidatsu. Unfortunately for us, Gidatsu is a quick unit, which is going to hinder our damage significantly. But it's really not that big of a deal, I guess. So I kind of want that meat orb on Marco. We are just going to take an extra turn here on Gidatsu. I'm going to eat this meat orb with Marco and Ace, because I think we need it, and if we die, we die. Oh no, too much damage. I hate letting characters take a knee. Alright, yeah, we just survived with that meat orb there. So maybe those meat orbs were essential. But, I mean, who knows. So Gidatsu is on a 2-turn cooldown. So we can just take our time taking him out here, as he does bind, 3 random units. But again, really not that big of a deal, as we can take him out on the next turn. So moving into the final stage against Enel now. Enel is going to turn into the opposite unit to what is your captain. So for us, he's going to turn into a Dex unit, which is great. And we can get a little bit of healing back with Brule there, but not essential, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video. It's just sort of there just to make things a little bit smoother. So with the special of Buggy, we can remove the special bind that is on Marco and Ace. And then with the Marco and Ace special, we can get a 2.75 times attack boost to our strength units. We lower all of our HP, which is great for our ship. And then we can finish it off with the Sweet Generals special. Sweet Generals are going to give us the chain boost as well as a 2 times color affinity. As on this stage, we do have color affinity against Enel, as he does change into the opposite special. Watch this beautiful special from the Sweet Generals. And then we're going to take him out. Now, with Akainu on our Marco and Ace, it's definitely going to help us out quite a bit. As, oh my god, Stump, hit your perfects, boy. But, it doesn't matter. It is going to help us out quite a bit. And even without an orb buff, as you'll see there, we could take out Enel easy peasy. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to go down there and belt that like button. And if you want to stay up to date with more OPTC content that I post, hit the big red subscribe button too. And for all you bloody legends that are already subscribers, consider becoming members today. But guys, most importantly, wherever you are in this beautiful world, make sure to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, I thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Lates!